Hey all, I'm Colette from Witchways and welcome to my channel. Today I'm sharing a spell that you can do for fall equinox. You can make it a bit more of a ritual if you want, and let me know in the comments if this is a holiday you celebrate and what you do. I hope you enjoy. All right, everyone. First, I want to talk about what fall equinox is and where the name Mabon came from. If you already know all about that and you just want the spell, I've time-stamped this so you can just skip ahead to the spell. The fall equinox is time of equal day, equal night, and so a lot of people associate it with balance. And this year it falls right after the new moon, and it falls on the night when the first sliver of that moon appears at sunset. Magically, the equinox is associated with harvest magic, abundance magic, appreciation rituals, land and garden magic, and house and hearth magic. In the modern witchcraft construct, the Wheel of the Year, this Sabbath is often called Mabon. And Mabon was actually a Welsh god, likely connected to the Romano-British god of youth named Mepanos. His name literally means great sun. His mother, Modron, was likely linked to the Gaulish goddess Matrona, which translates to great mother. And there are even places in England that are named after them. That said, Mabon himself has little to do with the autumn equinox. Some see Mabon as a harvest god that dies and is reborn, and dying and being reborn is a common part of the mythos of various harvest gods. And people associate that with Mabon partially because he was taken from his mother, he disappeared, and was later returned to her, symbolically dying and being reborn. And so when the Wiccan Wheel of the Year was created, his name was simply chosen as a deity for this Sabbath that represented dying and rebirth, like the grain gods. The purpose of this spell is to help you stay healthy, strong, and abundant throughout the winter months. There are a lot of optional extras in this spell to choose from, so if you like, you can make a day of it and make it more of a ritual. Start at sunrise and take a moment to notice the rising sun coming up around the buildings and trees in your neighborhood, and just welcome and greet the day, saying whatever feels right to you. You can also place a bowl or a jar of water outside, maybe on a mirror, to create some fall equinox water if you choose. Another option to make it more of a ritual is that you can dedicate the whole day to noticing this season. Take breaks from social media if you want, spend time outside and observe what's happening around you in nature. And when you're ready to start this, just take a slow walk outside around your yard or your block and pause at the quarters, looking around you, looking above, looking below, and just noticing what's going on with the light, the weather, the plants and animals in the world. Imagine as you're doing this that you can just gather in that harvest, abundant, balanced energy into your body, absorb it to help you work through the coming months, and just let it settle in your body wherever it needs to. And if visualization is difficult for you, you can just go into childlike mind, imagine, pretend. The magic will still work on some level. Pick up any leaves, branches, or rocks that call to you as you're taking your walk. You can bring them back with you and use them later on your altar. Once you're back inside, start your spell however you usually start magic. What I do is I ground, I center, I breathe, and I cast a protective circle around myself in the space where I'm doing the work. If you are more intermediate, you might want to call in deities or spirits that are associated with harvest, abundance, the land, sovereignty, and the Oak King is a personal favorite of mine. If you're newer to magic, you might want to call in an animal spirit for protection and vitality. As the sun goes down, set up your altar. Bring in your equinox water if you made any. And if you're wanting to use altar cloths, you could use one black one white one, or just simply autumn colored cloths or no cloth at all. Arrange what you gathered from your walk on the altar, or you can go on full on harvest abundance mode with grapes, grains, fruit, produce, fall leaves, whatever feels right to you. Just leave space in the center for your spell working. Write your intention on a piece of paper and then write your name over the top of your intention. And for your intention, you could write something like, I hold the abundance of the fall season in order to survive and thrive through the winter months, or use whatever words feel right to you. You can add a strand of your hair as a tag lock to link the magic more strongly to you and make it more effective if you like, and then place the candle on top of all that. You can anoint the candle with the Fall Equinox water if you made some. You could also use amber resin oil, which is really nice for this time of year, or any oil that you use for wealth, health, strength, resources. And if you don't have any of those things, you can simply hold the candle and whisper resources, health, and strength several times as you place the candle. Then around that paper and candle, just make a ring of acorns or nuts. I feel like acorns are perfect because they come from oaks, and oaks are so full of that luscious health, strength, abundance, and wealth magic. And if you want, you can add any herbs that are associated with healing to that ring as well. So you could use calendula, which is associated with the sun and also with protecting your skin and outer defenses, or you could use lung herbs like mullein or coltsfoot. And you could also just go to the grocery store and pick up some tea bags that are good for colds and flus, bring them home. And I always feel like tea bags need a little more waking up to be magically active when you buy them. So what I do is hold them in my hands, breathe them, rub them between my hands, talk to them a little bit longer than I normally do when I'm working with herbs. Place a few cinnamon sticks between that outer ring of herbs and nuts and that inner center spot where you have your intention and your candle. I like to use cinnamon because cinnamon is associated with calling in spirits, protection, and abundant resources. And even though I'm a shiny glass kind of witch, as you can usually see from my altars, I love working with bones, and you can add some at this time of year. And they carry ancestral support, vital force, animal strength, and underworld power, which is a little bit on the rise as we approach the equinox. You could also simmer some rosemary in a pot of water to fill your home with protection and strength, or burn incense made from tree resins to honor the trees and as an offering to the spirits. And when you're ready, recenter yourself in whatever way feels right to you. Light your candle, whisper your intention, or speak it or sing it, whatever feels right to you. And if you want, you can gather some magic up in your hands and push it into the candle as you speak your intention. And if you want, you can also speak some things that you want to call in for yourself for the winter. Anything else that isn't covered in this intention or this spell. And when you feel like your spell is fully charged, fully activated, or when you start to lose focus, you can snuff that candle. And if you want, you can relight it for several nights in a row at sunset. Or you can use a smaller candle like a birthday candle or a chime candle and just let it burn all the way out in one go. If you're more experienced, this is a really great time to sit quietly and ask your spirits, ancestors, and deities to work with you and offer you some guidance as we move into this time of longer nights. When you're finished, you can take down your circle if you cast one, thank any spirits that you invited, take water or wine outside, offer it to the land as an offering, and let the energy settle in your body, which I feel is one of the most important parts of a magical working, is just giving it a moment to let it settle, or move on to where it needs to go. You can release any extra energy by placing your hands on the ground and earthing the energy. And remember that you can adapt this spell and use any supplies that are locally available for you. Let go of anything that feels optional or doesn't resonate. The heart of this spell is really lighting that candle with the intention and decorating it with some seasonal greenery of some kind. I'd love to hear your thoughts about fall equinox in the comments. I love when we can all learn from each other. And check out my blog, my Patreon page, and sign up for my newsletter. If you choose, all those links will be in the description. And if you live in the Pacific Northwest, I am starting interviews for my Magic Self and Spirit in-person 9-month witchcraft program. So until next time, stay safe and be well.